Hollyleaf's return and Fallen Leaves' freedom. Ivypool's fur prickled uneasily as she heard movement from Soul and the other cats. They're looking for us. Come on, we have to go. Wandering blindly through the tunnels was terrifying. Will we ever find our way out? A moment later, she heard the thrumming sound of 2 sets of paw steps coming towards them. The paw steps light and sure what they were going. Cat scent washed over Ivypool, and the scent was rather familiar, but she was too scared to think clearly. She slid out her claws, blood rushing in her ears from the panic of the thought of being trapped between the 2 enemies. Then one of the newcomers, the familiar-smelling one, spoke, her mew a little rough with a hard edge. Come with us, quick! No way! Ivypool hissed and crouched down into an attack crouch, her whiskers twitching as she tried to aim her leap. You could be with them. We're not, the second newcomer mewed. Its mew was much deeper and obviously male. The other clan cats are coming over here, Holly. Holly? Ivypool thought. Who's Holly? A rogue? Prove it! Dubwing hissed, crouching down next to her sister. Their whiskers brushed from how close together the tunnel forced them to be. You shouldn't have to, the female stranger named Holly replied irritably. For StarClan's sake, let's go, unless you want to be shredded by the WindClan cats. Ivypool's green eyes widened in shock, and she glanced at her sister, exchanging a short glance by the gleam of Dubwing's eyes. StarClan? Then you belong with the clans. I don't, the male responded. His mew was rather tense as well. However, Holly does. Do you two want to get out of here or not? Holly interrupted him. Sorry, Fallen Leaves, but we need to get them out of here before WindClan finds them. Yes, we do, Ivypool hissed back. But how do we know you're not going to try to lead us in further? We aren't, the male named Fallen Leaves promised, and Ivypool caught the calm gleam of his eyes. His outline was also a little easier to see. She could faintly see ginger and white fur, while she couldn't see Holly at all. I'm a ThunderClan cat like you, Holly hissed, only the hard glint of her green eyes visible in the dark tunnels, her body darker than the darkness in the tunnel itself. Holly's a loner name, Dubwing hissed, her tail flipping out sadly. That's just what Fallen Leaves calls me. My name is Hollyleaf. I'm a ThunderClan cat, just like you, Holly mewed, her mew tight and annoyed. Ivypool felt her jaw drop. Hollyleaf? But you're dead. Obviously not, Hollyleaf replied with a hard edge in her mew. Now, do you want to stand here discussing ancient history long forgotten and be shredded by WindClan warriors, or would you like to leave? The paw steps of the WindClan cats were getting louder as they neared them, probably picking up on their scent. Ivypool could picture them running along the tunnel toward them, their noses twitching and jaws open to take in the ThunderClan scent partially masked by the other 2 strange cats. Okay, Dubwing mewed, her fur flattening slightly as she realized that Hollyleaf and Fallen Leaves weren't going to harm them. Show us the way. Fallen Leaves, you take Dubwing. I'll take Ivypool. If we split up, it will confuse the WindClan invaders. Mask her scent with yours, and I'll mask Ivypool. Hollyleaf spun around and whisked down the narrow-sided tunnel. Fallen Leaves shot down another, Dubwing on his tail. Ivypool followed Hollyleaf as the first WindClan cats skidded past and crashed in the tunnel walls. Ow! Where did they go? They were just here. I know they were. Foxdung, we lost them. Hollyleaf paid no attention to the other cats, heading deeper into the tunnels. Ivypool followed her so close that her whiskers brushed the other she-cat's tail. She was terrified of losing her. If she did, she was going to be lost in the tunnels forever. She hoped Dubwing would be all right with Fallen Leaves, the cat who wasn't at all familiar to either of them. After a while of twisting tunnels, Hollyleaf paused, and Ivypool nearly barged into her. You can trust us, you know, Hollyleaf meowed. I led you out once before, remember? Oh, Ivypool mewed, as she realized why Hollyleaf's scent was so vaguely familiar. That was you? Holly didn't say anything else as she darted through the tunnels, with the knowledge of exactly where she was going. Soon Ivypool started to see Hollyleaf's black ears and head outlined by the pale light filtering in through the narrow tunnel. Ivypool's heart jumped as she heard more paw steps, and she realized that it was just Fallen Leaves and Dubwing. Her sister was safe. A moment later, the 4 cats emerged from the wide tunnel into a shallow dip of tumbled rocks and fern on the hillside. Ivypool opened her jaws and drew in the fresh night air, her pelt smoothing as she caught the scents of ThunderClan. She turned to her rescuers, a slender, long-legged black she-cat with piercing green eyes, and a long-legged ginger and white tom with piercing green eyes like Hollyleaf. Its outline shimmered slightly in the sunlight, almost like how a StarClan cat was supposed to look. Thank you, Ivypool mewed, her leaf-green eyes glowing with relief. We never would have made it out without you, Dubwing added, giving her pelt a shake, blue eyes bright with a matching relief. Hollyleaf gave a curt nod. Listen, she meowed. We heard Sol plotting with the WindClan cats for the last half moon, and— What? Ivypool gasped. That's even before he came to ThunderClan. They're going to attack through the tunnels. Feline mewed and shuffled his large paws, ears twitching uneasily. He wasn't sure how he was outside of the tunnels at the current moment, and the strange sense flooding his senses weren't helping. We have to warn the clan, Dovewing mewed, her blue eyes wide with worry and dismay. Come on, Ivypool! Wait. Hollyleaf stopped them from leaving with a twitch of her tail. It's not going to happen yet, Feline mewed. Sol wants to win more support from your clanmates first. The WindClan cats knows he's winning ThunderClan's friendship so he can betray you, Hollyleaf hissed, a growl rumbling in her throat. You never should have let him come back. If Ivypool wasn't so shocked, she would have been weirded out by them finishing each other's sentences. It was something that her and Dovewing's mentors used to do, and even back then it was weird. It wasn't us, Ivypool pointed out. He did save the apprentices from a fox, Dovewing mewed. Sol didn't save them, Feline mewed, and his tail switched annoyingly across the grassy earth. That was Hollyleaf. Ivypool and Dovewing blinked at the she-cat. They hadn't been expecting that. Feline's ears swiveled toward the edge of the dip, and he stiffened, green eyes flashing with worry. Holly, there are cats coming! Mouse-dung! Hollyleaf muttered. They've come looking for Ivypool and Dovewing. She tensed up as well and started edging toward the tunnels. Panic flared in Feline's eyes, and he turned toward her. Let's go back. You wanted to stay with me, right? Hollyleaf nodded. Don't tell any cat you saw us, she nearly begged, the two ThunderClan warriors, green eyes worried. Why not? Dovewing asked in confusion. Why can't you come home? You belong here! My home was with Feline in the tunnels, Hollyleaf whispered, her tail and hindquarters vanishing into the dark tunnel opening. Feline at her side. I don't belong here. No! Hollyleaf! Don't run! Hollyleaf froze, and Ivypool looked up at the edge of the dip, where Lionblaze, Cinderheart, and Jayfeather all stood on a wide rock, looking down at the four of them. Lionblaze's pelt was gold in the moonlight. His amber eyes glowed as he saw his sister after many moons of them being apart. Cinderheart's pelt glowed almost white. Her blue eyes glittered at the sight of her best friend. Jayfeather's coat shone like starlight. His moody, blind blue eyes had an unusual spark of joy. Cinderheart spoke, her blue eyes gentle and warm. Hollyleaf, we're not letting you run away again. Lionblaze's mew was firm. Not again. You do belong here in ThunderClan. Jayfeather's blind gaze was locked on Feline. Thank you for taking care of my sister, Feline.
Waking up, I'm taking chances tonight. I'm opening my eyes and I'm feeling